So this is a Tesla Cybertruck going for a quick dip at the beach, as you do, getting its feet wet so to speak, and along the way collecting a little bit of seaweed. Remember, Cybertruck first delivery event just a few days from now. This is also a Cybertruck, this time in matte black. Absolute head turner. And this is a birthday cake. Now you might be wondering, Stephen, what do these things have in common? Well, the Cybertruck was unveiled just over 4 years ago, and Solving the Money Problem channel was published exactly 4 years ago. So happy birthday to me, and thank you to everybody who's been watching from day one, or more recently, appreciate the support. So to celebrate this 4-year milestone of solving the money problem, I decided to take the day off. I'm just kidding, as if I'd do that. Come on, bro. Who do you think I am? But I do have an announcement. Moving forward, I'll be publishing my full daily uploads simultaneously on both YouTube and X, so you can watch on either platform. I will continue to post early access exclusively to my X subscribers. So if you want to watch it first, best way and only way actually to do that is to subscribe over on X, where I also do post occasional exclusive video content and more, including breaking news. And I still continue to post exclusive content over on Patreon, plus there's an archive now of close to 350 exclusive videos, plus exclusive access to my Tesla fair valuation and optional access to my Tesla valuation model. So before we get to the meat and bones of today's videos, just wanted to say once again thanks to everybody who's been supporting the channel and tuning in from day one or more recently, including the haters who for some reason continue to explain why I suck, I'm a moron, etc., yet tune in every day. I love my confused admirers, aka the haters. Now, just to quickly rewind the clock, quick trip down memory lane. Very first video I ever published on this YouTube channel, Elon Musk's psychedelic secret. The second, Cybertruck is engineering genius and will be copied, ... or companies will go out of business because once people see what this thing can do, it's game over for traditional pickup trucks. The third video, why I'm all in on Tesla stock, which has aged like a fine fucking wine. I do encourage you guys to watch that if you didn't see the original. And fourth, was waiting for Tesla stock to dip. Good luck. Published with Tesla approximately $22 per share today, currently up almost 1,000%. So congratulations to everybody in the comments who told me that I was a moron and they were waiting for Tesla stock to dip. I'm sure you don't regret that. P.S. That video still remains as true today as it did back then 4 years ago. Now, I just wanted to share a truly incredible piece of insight from one of the absolute geniuses on Wall Street. Jeffries urged Tesla to cancel the Cybertruck. Oops, I accidentally clicked onto a different tab. Why am I reading this? What does this say? Well, it's here anyway. Let's just read it. Why not? Jeffries still holding their short position, ? On September 30th, 2023, Jeffries reported 206,000 puts, as in Tesla puts, as in they're betting against the company, aka the stock, in their SEC filing. No calls or shares. So let's have a look at this. Interesting. Less than 2 months ago, when they most recently had to report, Jeffries were betting against Tesla stock. And today, in completely unrelated matters, Jeffries urges Tesla to cancel the Cybertruck. So let's read this. I'm sure they'll make a very reasonable argument here. It's got nothing to do with a potential short position. Plus, they're not even allowed to do that by be short and then publish stuff like this anyway. They'd never do it, so I don't even know why I said that. Tesla looks stuck in a slow lane for another 12 to 18 months, says Jeffries, urges company to cancel Cybertruck. Might I suggest that Jeffries cancel themselves? Unless, of course, they have a humiliation fetish, in which case, carry on. A Jeffries stock analyst cut the price target to $210 per share on Tesla stock as 2024 is, quote, already a lost year for growth. The price target cut reflects reduced earnings and free cash flow estimates. The analyst argues that Tesla looks stuck in a slow lane for another 12 to 18 months, unable to capitalize on peer delays, while European legacy OEMs launch $25,000/€25,000 EVs next year, and Chinese car makers set a new pace of shorter product cycles. So just quickly want to point something out. It is true that Tesla are no longer moving at utter lightning pace due to economic concerns slowing up on the construction of the Giga Mexico factory. However, a lot of people seem to have not listened or paid attention or just invented meaning. Oh, imagine that, people inventing meaning when it comes to Tesla. That never happens. And ignored the fact that Tesla themselves explicitly said they will actually begin production of their $25,000 vehicle in Austin, Texas, which they realized made sense anyway because they need to be there as opposed to trying to do the thing in Mexico while they're headquartered in Austin. So it's true, it will take time for Tesla to ramp up production on the Cybertruck and the $25,000 vehicle, but there's still growing capacity at Berlin and Austin and eking out more capacity at Shanghai and Fremont. So I'm not quite sure that 12 to 18 months of lost growth is quite accurate, but it is true that it'll be a quieter period versus when they're massively ramping up the next gen vehicle, and Cybertruck has gone from production hell to hopefully not production hell. Quote, "We appreciate future value from FSD, including licensing or Optimus, but not as near term." Ooh, near term, imagine that. Stock analyst on Wall Street talking about the near term. But not as near-term substitutes to solid core performance. As battery electric vehicle penetration continues to grow globally, one of Tesla's long-term edges is to remain one of a handful of global low-cost producers along with BYD, Stellantis and Toyota. The analyst believes that Tesla cancelling Cybertruck, quote, "would probably be positive for shares." In fairness, who fucking knows what cancelling the Cybertruck may or may not do to Tesla's shares? Who cares? I care much more about the company's execution, their value, not what people are currently paying for Tesla stock, but what the company's intrinsically worth. Now, it pains me to need to point this out to, what's the name of this analyst? Let me just, Philippe, whatever, I can't even say that surname. Let me search for this guy now on Google. So apparently this is the analyst that we're hearing from right now. Went to Harvard and has an MBA in being wrong. So Philippe here of Jefferies may not be aware that a bunch of autistic savants have reverse engineered the reservation numbers for Tesla Cybertrucks and have publicly made this tracker available via Google Sheets. Anyone can look at this thing, and it appears that there are more than 2 million, one more time, more than 2 million, that's million, reservations for Tesla's Cybertruck as I record this. Now, call me crazy, but if a company has more than 2 million reservations for a product whose beginning price will easily be $50,000, $60,000+, average selling price probably quite a bit more, those reservations would represent in excess of $100 billion, with a B, billion dollars of revenue. Now, if a company has a product for which there are already reservations representing in excess of $100 billion of revenue, approximately how much sense would it make for that company to cancel that product as opposed to produce the product and sell through those 2 million reservations? And look, obviously, not every reservation will follow through, but unless you're suffering from small brain syndrome, you do realize that for every one reservation that there is for the Cybertruck, even if a percentage of people don't follow through, there will be people who don't currently have a Cybertruck reserved who in the future will purchase one, meaning that 2 million is a fraction of the number of Cybertrucks that will ultimately sell. So why would anyone who isn't this guy on screen now be suggesting that cancelling Cybertruck would be positive for shares? Well, this is what we call Wall Street analyst syndrome. Do you notice that this isn't talking about be positive for the company or their market share? No. Cancelling a product for which there were over $100 billion of reservations. Who cares about the impact on the actual company and therefore the intrinsic value of the actual company itself? Maybe if they cancel the product, it would be good for a short-term stock pump. Idiot. Quote, "With 2024 already a lost year for growth, it would help Tesla refocus on an edge that was built on simplicity, scale, and speed." Thanks, Einstein. Any more tips for Tesla? Instead of spending significant resources on Cybertruck ramp, the management should focus on, quote, "high volume global segments of supply and of 4680 for Model Y." Quote, "Allocating capital to support residuals would be a better use than Cybertruck." Again, from Derp at Jefferies, who at some point recently, Jefferies also happened to be betting against Tesla stock. So if I didn't know any better, and I obviously do, I would suggest that we're getting a window into how folks on Wall Street tend to think. Everything is about the stock price, and it's also about the stock price right now and tomorrow, as opposed to the actual value of the actual company. You might have noticed, folks, that as Tesla stock began to collapse from its all-time high, after analysts started chasing Tesla stock up with their new price targets, having miraculously reverse-engineered reasons to increase their price target, something green tidal wave, whatever, instead of having adjusted their valuation models, these same clowns then began chasing Tesla stock down as it came down, and again, reverse-engineered reasons. Very few of these folks demonstrating any courage or conviction at all in their belief of what this company was actually worth, but instead sticking their finger into the wind and trying to guess what people will be paying for this stock. Now, in case I need to point this out, it's super important to understand that by its very definition, a price target, despite its name, which, let's be honest, is a little misleading, isn't a prediction of what investors will be paying for a stock at any point in the future. It is instead a calculation based on what an analyst, having done a calculation from numbers in a valuation model, based on those numbers, what they think a fair value per share is for that stock. This is very important. It is possible for a company's fair value to be entirely detached from what investors are currently paying for its stock. I mean, Should I have to do this? Probably not. But just to be clear, looking at this chart of Tesla's stock, if we were under the impression, if we had the thesis that the stock price of any one company fairly represented its actual underlying value, then looking at this chart for Tesla, let's say from 7th of March 2014 until the 31st of May 2019, given the stock went essentially nowhere and more than 5 years after the 7th of March, Tesla stock was actually down about 25%. Based on this, you would assume that the company had gone backwards, not grown whatsoever, but gone backwards, right? But that's not what happened. Now, let's pick another date. How about when I launched this YouTube channel with Tesla stock at $22 a share, not long after, Tesla stock up in less than a year, Tesla stock over the next 2 years, up nearly 1,800%. You'd think that suddenly out of nowhere, Tesla, the company, began executing. But that's not what happened. You'd also think if that was the case, from November 2021 until Tesla stock plunged almost 75%, that the world was ending and Tesla had stopped selling vehicles, they'd lost their competitive edge, profits were collapsing and so on. But that's also not what occurred. Even year to date, Tesla stock opening just over $100 per share. And by the way, I'm never going to stop. So rest in peace all the morons who panic sold around this level. You idiots. You're not cut out for investing. These are the facts. I'm sorry, but you're just not. Don't have the emotional temperament or the intellectual capacity or both. Tesla stock now, this year, has more than doubled since the opening day of the year. Yet at the same time, it's become evident that Tesla's going to be forced to keep pushing prices lower, sometimes ahead of their cost decline, sometimes in line with. So if the stock price accurately represented the company and what's going on, you probably wouldn't see the stock doubling year to date. Then again, nor would you have seen the stock down about 75% from all-time highs in the span of a couple of years. So the point that I'm getting at here, what Tesla, the company, is worth, its fair valuation, is often entirely detached from what investors are currently paying for the stock. You may have noticed, if you have access to my fair valuation for Tesla over on Patreon, link in description, that there was a period in time where Tesla's price for the stock exceeded what I thought the company was fairly valued at. And many people started asking me on Patreon, hey bro, Tesla's gone past your price target. When are you going to increase it? I'm like, that's not how it works, bro. Do you not understand? It's not based on what the stock's worth today or what investors are paying today. It's based on the underlying assumptions from my Tesla valuation model. So too, I did not chase the stock down to nearly $100 per share because I don't care what investors are paying for the stock. I care about the underlying numbers. Again, my valuation model literally produces the price target. It is a direct output. There's no magic secret sauce. There's no art there. It's all science. Don't get me wrong. The numbers in the valuation model are a combination of art and science. But the price target is a direct output of the valuation model. So if the numbers in my valuation model aren't changing, then nor is the price target. This seems rather different from the mindset of many folks on Wall Street. And again, what in the fuck is this clown from Jefferies thinking? Cancelling Cybertruck, quote, would probably be positive for shares. Well, would it be positive for Tesla? That's all I care about. Now, just a quick detour. Speaking of Tesla and their valuation and competitive advantages and so on, SAIC/GM, joint venture over in China, EVs to access Tesla China's Supercharger network. So once again, I'd just like to say congratulations to GM for leading. You did it, Mary. You electrified the whole industry. You led, and it matters, according to the big guy. P.S. What laptop? Meanwhile, Tesla continues to roll out their advertising campaign, figuring out what works, scaling things up, currently running ads on YouTube. By the way, good timing. YouTube currently experiencing what we creators call the adpocalypse. Ad rates are significantly down versus a year or so ago, meaning getting a lot more bang for buck advertising on YouTube. However, I really hope that Tesla is not running ads on Solving the Money Problem, on Tesla Daily, or any of the other Tesla-centric channels, because they're already preaching to the choir. Of course, this still isn't good enough for the Tesla needs to advertise crowd, right? Of course not. Never will be. Until, of course, interest rates reverse, suddenly consumer sentiment shifts, more automotive sales start to pick up, and suddenly, magically, irrespective of what Tesla has or has not done with advertising, those voices will suddenly quiet. Speaking of the Cybertruck, I saw this, a billboard designed to be the world's toughest truck. So let's read these points. Ultra-hard stainless steel exoskeleton, shatter-resistant glass, ultra-tough SMC bed, up to 2,500 pound payload, adaptive air suspension with on-road and off-road drive modes, and 11,000 pounds of towing power. Now, who knows which version the specs are for? Probably the dual motor all-wheel drive, but never know. And just for comparison's sake, Cybertruck towing capacity, 1,100 pounds, payload, up to 2,500 pounds. Partially bulletproof? Yes. The F-150 Lightning, towing capacity, up to 10,000 pounds, so less than the Cybertruck. Payload, up to 22, 35 pounds. Again, less than Cybertruck. Partially bulletproof? No. But I thought Cybertruck couldn't do anything a real pickup truck could do because it looked different. I don't understand. Help. I'm confused. Somebody explain to me. So once again, happy 4th birthday to Solving the Money Problem, and thank you everybody who's been tuning in from the early days or more recently. Really appreciate your support. And here's my pledge to you. Solving the Money Problem is going to be around a lot longer than most legacy automotive companies, although in fairness, that's probably not saying a whole lot, but in all seriousness, we are just getting started. Want more content? Early access? Bunch of perks? Click the links in the pinned comment. AG1 has given me a massive, meaningful boost in energy, allowing me to do a lot more every day, including using my brain more and using my body more. I highly recommend you guys and girls check it out. It's an excellent way to fill in nutritional gaps. It's got 75 high-quality vitamins, minerals, and whole food source nutrients, plus prebiotics and probiotics and digestive enzymes and adaptogens to help you deal with stress. Plus, if you click the link in the pinned comment or head to drinkag1.com/SMR, you can get yourself a 1-year free supply of vitamin D3 and K2. But don't take my word for it. Here's what some of you guys and girls have to say. AG1 has changed my life. I was, as you described, treating myself like a circus, ate like trash, rarely exercised, used alcohol as a stress crutch, cannabis also. AG1 is what gave me the kick in the ass, got me back to the gym, motivated me to do more for myself, family, my business, etc. Keep doing what you do. Now, I know there's some skeptics, the same kind of people who think Elon Musk is a fraud, reading this going, what do you thought? There's no way that's possible, bro. It must be a placebo effect. Believe it or not, this is a recurring theme. If you give your body everything it needs to feel and perform its best, including having a lot more energy, you'll need ways to use that energy. For me personally, that includes more exercise, moving my body more social activity, and more cognitively demanding tasks, including producing a ton of exclusive content over on Twitter and on Patreon, plus my daily YouTube uploads. The proof's in the pudding. On to another testimonial from a viewer of this channel. SMR, you asked me to provide feedback on AG1. Here it is. It has helped with mental acuity, stamina, and intestinal waste management. Can't read between the lines. It certainly helps with regularity and digestion. That's what the digestive enzymes are for. It has also dramatically reduced my cravings for sugar. You guys need to stop eating sugar. It's fucking poison. I'm 50, 5'9", and overweight, aka a fat motherfucker. I think that's a technical term for overweight, isn't it? Is it fat motherfucker or obese? I can't remember. I average 100 hours a week in the West Texas oil fields as a safety supervisor. Jesus Christ, dude. No wonder you're struggling to keep your weight under control. 100 hours a week. Brutal. It has helped me lose weight. It is not an appetite suppressant. It can help fat people suppress cravings, and motivation to be healthier is critical for changing your diet. Love you, brother. Again, this is a great point and something people really don't seem to grasp. If you have more energy, everything becomes easier. It's like turning on easy mode for life. A few years ago, before I was taking AG1, my health was trash. I was struggling to get through the day, had afternoon fatigue. The last thing I wanted to do was either use my brain or move my body. Didn't have the energy. Now, my biggest struggle every day is figuring out ways to use that energy. I'm exercising way more, doing a lot more with my friends and family, and of course, my work output has increased substantially. And you can fact check me. Check out the average length of my videos I was posting to YouTube 3 years ago. Need I say more? And one final testimonial. Love this one. Okay, here's the deal for me with this AG1 shit. I'm 41 years old and not the type to eat, drink, smoke, or sleep healthy, so I was skeptical. That being said, here's what I experienced. Day 1, meh. Day 2, afternoon fatigue was about 45 minutes late. Day 3, 0 afternoon fatigue. Day 4, 0 afternoon fatigue plus extra energy. Day 5, again, 0 afternoon fatigue plus energy, wondering, what the fuck, really? See, this is the thing, right? The results for many people are just almost too good to be true. This is the same experience I had. My afternoon fatigue just vanished out of nowhere. I'm like, wait, what the fuck? Why am I not tired in the afternoons anymore? Surely, it's not that AG1 shit, is it? Turns out it was. Day 6 and 7, same thing. Day 8, same thing. Plus, I had the want to get things done around the house that I normally would slack off and not get done. Again, the point, extra energy, you'll need to use it, you'll find ways to use it. Day 9, 10, and 11, and today is day 12. I fucking love it. So however you managed to get me to buy it, I'm so glad you did. Thank you so much, SMR. It really changed me so far. Guys, this shit really works. Just try it. By the way, this is the reason I continue to relentlessly promote AG1. A lot of people get real fucking mad in the comments. Oh my God, snake oil salmon sold out. Oh my God, he's a scammer. This is fraud. But constantly, I'm pretty sure everyone making these comments is also currently short Tesla stock. I'm not particularly concerned about people having a negative perception, those folks suffering from small brain syndrome, still living in my bum's basement syndrome, etc., writing mean comments, claiming AG1's a scam or it doesn't work. I mean, bro, when I get feedback like this is what keeps me going. Just try this stuff for a month, and if you don't get these results, get your money back. See, it's a literal no-brainer. It's an IQ test at this point in time. Testimonial after testimonial after testimonial like this. You get your money back if it doesn't work. Just try it for a month, and if it doesn't work, get your money back. Today's the day. It's finally time. Be like this guy who was a massive skeptic, but finally, after 1,000 promotions in a row, caved in, tried AG1, and has results like this. Head to drinkag1.com/SMR or click the link at the pinned comment, and please, let me know how you're feeling in a few weeks' time. Now, if you'll excuse me, time to put my extra energy to good use. I'll be recording some more exclusive content for Patreon and my Twitter subscribers. So click the links at the pinned comment, see you over on Twitter and or Patreon, and don't forget to grab your AG1. Love ya.